Hi everyone, welcome to another vlog. This vlog is an apology really that I've not been here for at least 2 months. I think it's probably been a little bit over that. As my regular subscribers will know, we've been a bit busy. Me and Gina have had our second child, a little girl called Isabella. She's doing really well. Today's video was just to touch on my first year of Huel. In a nutshell, I was trying to figure this out, and I've been talking to people who I work with, and you know, Gina and other people, just trying to like decide why what's happened has happened. Now, there was a couple of things. So I did the 3 peaks challenge. Now, there's some little videos that I did whilst I was actually trying to do the 3 peaks. I went up Ben Nevis, that was fine. We came back down. On the way back down, my legs went into serious cramp. I didn't do Scarfell Pike, but then I massively recovered for Snowdon. Now, the only thing that I can pin this down to, and it's probably not fair to blame it on it, but it was probably Huel. Now, on the build up for it, I wasn't carb loading. I didn't really, to be honest, do much training for it. I had this idea in my head that I was mentally and physically fit to do it. I've done loads of mountain climbing before, and I've done the 3 peaks before as well, so it's not like it's something new, and I felt I was more than adequate for doing it. Now, I was coming down the mountain, I started getting massive cramps, I had a massive energy loss, I just physically couldn't move, I felt sick and everything else. It was really bad. I've done Mount Fuji before, no problems. Like I said, but coming down from Ben Nevis, it wasn't good. So I ended up sitting out Scarfell Pike just to recover. Now, whilst I was sitting out Scarfell Pike, I ended up loading up on like things like isotonic drinks like Lucozade and things like that. Got myself up loads of carbs and bits and pieces like that. So I spent the few hours between getting down from Ben Nevis just completely trying to recover, ready for Snowdon. When I was doing Snowdon, I was fine. Went all the way up. One of the other lads who I went with, we ended up jogging back down with the first people down from Snowdon. And I felt completely different afterwards. And the only thing I could think of was maybe my sugars were low, or you know, maybe I didn't have enough salts in my body or anything else like that. But the cramps and everything else that I had when I was doing Ben Nevis kind of like put me off Huel a bit. Now, whether it's a loose excuse to use that or not, I don't know. I don't know if really it's fair. But I can only really tell you what I've been thinking. So from that, I kind of like then went on this massive, I'm tapering off Huel now. And I don't know whether I use it as an excuse to stop really going on Huel, but then I went away with work from America. I went to do some training with my employer. When I went away over there, I kind of just didn't take any Huel with me. I came back, and then I kind of like just, when I was at work, I just did a little odd shaker here, there and everywhere, but I wasn't really on it. I've definitely put the weight back on, definitely. I'm not going to lie about that 1 minute. I know that I do love the food too much, and that was what the Huel was there for me to control, but because of, I think, maybe it was because of the 3 peaks challenge, I wasn't feeling great. The other thing I was thinking of as well is the antisocial aspect, really. So, when I'm at work, everyone goes off for breaks into the canteen at the same time. You like to mingle and have a chit chat. Now, that was working fine up until a point when I realised that obviously everyone else who I work with, I never really get to see them anymore. I work upstairs with the robots, I'm just doing what I need to get done. But the downside to that was, when they were going for a break, everyone else was going downstairs, and I was kind of missing that social aspect. Now, years ago, I used to be a big smoker. Probably got to about nearly 30 cigarettes a day. I gave up back in 2006, I think it might have been. Gina could correct me on that. But I gave up in 2006. For the 4 or 5 years probably following giving up, I used to hang around a lot of smokers because it was still the social side of it. And I think that was probably true again with the food. So the social side of not mingling with people was because I was now working and just drinking my Huel, because Huel just, it does really solve a problem of that. If you're at work and you're too busy and you want to get things done, you can get the things done because it doesn't interfere with your day. It takes like 30 seconds to make it up inside the shaker and off you go. Whereas obviously sitting down for a full meal, you're there for half an hour, and you're not really being productive for that half an hour. Granted, I know probably some of you out there would be saying, well, you're on your break, so you should be having your break and do whatever, but I prefer to keep busy, otherwise it just makes the day too long. So that was my thought process behind it. I don't know whether, like I said, whether it's compounded by the fact that maybe it was the social side of it. I was just feeling like I was missing out, not talking to people I work with. 12-hour shift is a long shift to be going through, especially if you're not really speaking to anybody, especially on the nights as well. It's the nights I find the worst, because you don't really, everyone in the building seems to be like on a bit of a down. It's not like a natural body rhythm thing, so everyone's not being interactive with you anyway, and then because of that you're not being as willing to be interactive with other people. So then you kind of like go into this like little bubble of, okay, fine, I'll just do what I need to do and eat my Huel and stay out of the way. But then, like I said, I think just down the line it just compounded things that I realised that, you know, you're missing out on this. So I think it was those few little things, putting it together, that kind of made me stop on the Huel. I can't really pin it down to anything else. Like I said, I've virtually ground to nothing, you know, an all but nothing stop on Huel. I've got bags of it in the cupboard at the moment. I had the subscriptions, they just carried on running for a bit, and then I've just kept on delaying them now for a bit. But the plan is now going into next year, because we're on, like I said, the 22nd of December today, so the 1st of January, my plan was, and I've been talking to Junior about this, is just trying to stick with Huel throughout the entire year if possible. So like I said, going forward next year, I'm planning on the January 1st. It's not a New Year's resolution, I'm not looking at it like that, I'm just using it as a date marker. But the plan is I'm going to try and stick with Huel now for at least one solid year. I was a bit concerned when I was originally doing the 1 month of Huel. I thought that if I stuck with it for probably 2 or 3 months, I may just become that used to it that I'm not then bothered by other foodstuffs. I don't know, it's one of them. I don't know if anybody else has had the same thing with Huel, whether they see the same social side to it. I mean, by all means, leave me a feedback down in the comments below. I'd really like to know what your thought processes are as you've been going through your Huel transition. Like I said, I've been on it now for over a year. I was trying to calculate how many shakers I had. I kind of lost count when I was trying to count how many old bags and orders and things like that I've actually gone through. It's been a fair few. So going into this year transition, I'm looking at it that way, it shouldn't be that bad, hopefully. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Apologies again that it's been so long, I've been tied up, I've been, like I said, as you can see, this is now my computer station. I'm actually sat in the back of the kitchen at the moment, because I've got the little girl who's come along. She's taken up my spare computer room, which obviously I only did a few months ago. As you can see, the garage is in the conservatory behind me, because at the moment I'm building myself a new garage. That's taken up quite a bit of the time as well. So yeah, so that's it pretty much. Anyway, so I've been waffling on now, it's nearly been 10 minutes, wow. I was trying to keep this video under like 3 or 4 minutes, but it never happens. I always talk too much. Anyway, so thanks very much for checking out on the video, and I shall speak to you all soon. Thanks very much, take care, bye bye.